Yo family, it's your brother Tank, and I'm coming at y'all with another video. Okay, today I want to talk about the illusion of plentifulness. The illusion of plentifulness. And what I mean by that, right? We live in a world today where our society, not a world, we live in a society. If you live in any westernized country, we live in a society where we want to give off the illusion that we have more than what we need, or the the government systems in the corporations and the companies want to give off the illusion that there is so much to offer as far as food, fashion, technology. There's so much to offer, but in reality, it's really not. It's it's a false illusion of having a lot. And the craziest part is I believe it's the food. We're gonna get into other stuff, but I think it's the food, right? The food industry. So I was watching this documentary a few days ago, about a week ago now, where they were talking about how, the nutrients in the foods are going low, getting lower and lower. It's less iron, it's less potassium in it, it's less micronutrients that build our molecular structure, that builds our body up, right? So in essence, we would have to eat more of the same thing to get that same yield of energy that somebody would get 30, 40, 50 years ago. Say, for example, a tomato. A tomato has lost 57% of its nutrients since the 1950s. And the documentary was explaining that, the reason why it has lost so much of its nutrients is because these corporations are trying to mass produce a lot of tomatoes, right? So back in the day where they would have a tomato vine, say they would have 10 tomatoes on one tomato vine, right? And that would yield the proper amount of nutrients, because the nutrients come from the ground, come from the soil, and load off into the tomatoes, right? The proper amounts. Now, what the corporations want to do, they want to maximize and get as many tomatoes on that vine as possible. Okay, but the thing is, the plant, the plants is going to pull the same number of nutrients through the stem and out to those 20 tomatoes as the same amount as it did for the 10. So what is that? Instead of 10, you getting 20 tomatoes. Each tomato has 50% less nutrients. It's more tomatoes. It's more tomatoes, yeah. But the nutrient density of that tomato has dropped significantly. And a person in the store buy just one tomato thinking he yielding, or thinking she yielding all the nutrients that she can out of that tomato. In reality, she got about 2 or 3 to yield that same amount of energy as somebody would 50 years ago. And it's just an illusion. They just want to have as many tomatoes in the store as possible for the store to look like it has a lot. It has plentifulness, and that the food will never end. And excuse me. And it's kind of evil and sickening to do that to people and produce all of this low nutrients food. What's wrong with having 10 tomatoes and just growing more more tomato plants, you know. What's wrong with doing that, growing more plants, etc.? I mean, for any type of plant, you know. But that's not the goal of these big corporations and these big industries. They want to get the most out of doing the least. So they want to make the most money with putting in the least amount of effort, right? And that's damaging to our bodies. If we eat a piece of eat a watermelon that we think has all the phyto vitamins that we need, all the flavonoids that we need, but it's not yielding the same amount of someone 50 years ago. And it's evil, and that's a big reason why, you know, you need to produce your own food in some kind of way, you know. Even if you are a meat eater, right? Even with the animals, the animals are not getting the same amount of nutrients, right, as they did 50 years ago. They just pump them up with steroids and these different growth hormones to make them look bigger. It's like they're inflating them. They're inflating them to make them look like they're healthier and stronger, but in reality they're not. It's just an illusion. And here's the thing with the fashion industry and the clothing. They produce a lot of different toxic materials to go into your fabrics, right? A lot of different poisonous materials to go into your fabric, but they have a lot of it, right? Um, we don't we have a lot of poison inside of our fabrics, inside of our different clothes. Like this shirt I got on now, you know, it's probably all type of different things that are involved in plastic, you know, plastic in this shirt. This shirt is, I'm supposed to be wearing something pure cotton, pure silk. That's what we all supposed to be wearing, something pure. But you know, you can only yield so many clothes with if you have a pure product. Like on Temu, Temu is very cheap, and I know a lot of brothers and sisters get their stuff from Temu and Sheen and all these different clothing sites, and essentially they're sending over poisonous clothing. And the sisters, they buy a lot of clothes, they buy a lot of these cheap clothes, and it look good, but whole time that they're poisoning their bodies. And brothers, they poisoning their bodies buying these cheap fabrics, and they wonder why it's so cheap. It's because it's made out of poly, I forgot the name of the stuff that's in plastic. It's made out of plastic and oil, the same stuff that's made from our tires, and it's a huge illusion that we have so much, but in reality, you know, we're getting the shit end of the stick in every way. And as far as technology, right, we have never been in an era like this where so many cars are breaking down so easy. So many different vehicles and different computers. Why do they break down so easy? It's simply because the technology is cheaply built, it's cheaply made. Um, you think you got real copper in your computer helping those systems collide? No, it's copper mixed with something else to make it cheaper, to make it stretch longer. It's honestly just like how they do the dope. You know, they stretch it out. They put the baking soda in it. They put the fentanyl in it to stretch it out. With lean, they put oil in it to stretch it out, right? To make it look like it's more than what they have. In reality, it's not. You know, it's all an illusion. So the only way you can ensure that you're getting the proper clothing, the proper technology, the proper, food that you want, and it's yielding all of its nutrients. And the fabric is 100% cotton or 100% silk, and it won't give you rashes on your skin. It won't give you bumps on your skin. It won't cause cancer to your body. You know, you have to. I'm not saying you got to produce all these things on your own, but you have to get it from a trusted source. You know, find somebody in the community that makes proper silk clothes and proper cotton clothes. Find somebody in the community that's good with the technology and know how to build these systems the proper way. Find somebody in your community that is growing the food from their soil, and that's not trying to stretch the nutrients out by putting it in a lot more fruits, um, because it's an illusion and it's poisoning us. It's killing people faster and faster, you know. I was just in the store, man, and I was just looking. I was like, dang, man, it's a lot of oranges. It's a lot of bright, shiny orange look. I mean, the most perfect orange, right? The most perfect orange color on an orange that you could ever see, so shiny and perfect. In reality, real natural whole foods, it's they don't look like that. Real food is not always pretty. Real food that yields the right amount of energy for your body, it don't always look beautiful. Real food can look ugly. And that's the thing, they have programmed our minds to want the prettiest looking food, the food that looks like this storybook fantasy fruit that we've seen in movies. In reality, fruit is not supposed to be all glistening and shiny. That's bug spray all on them foods, man. That's bug spray. That's pesticide. That's herbicides all on these foods. That's making it all shiny and glittery. Food is not supposed to have a waxy film on it. And that's what a lot of foods that we're getting, and a lot of foods that we eat, even in the meat. The meat looks super bright red. Meat don't look like that. Chicken ain't this perfect plump. It's not real chicken not supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to look all plump and juicy like that. That's a chicken that has been filled with a lot of growth hormones. That's gonna go in your body and turn you crazy. And the fabrics, man, the fabrics, it is killing us. Wearing all these different type of poisonous fabrics. It's no way that it's no way that it's not gonna, if we keep living like this, it's no way it's not going to change our molecular structure down to the chromosome. It's going to change us down to the chromosome. And when it's changing us like that, it's not changing us, it's changing our DNA for our children and for their children's children and for their children's children's children. So it's exterminating humanity. Essentially, it's exterminating humanity if you keep wearing these poisonous fabrics, if you keep eating these poisonous foods. It's going to exterminate humanity because corporations want to be a trillionaire. They want trillions. These corporations, these families, they want trillions. So, if they gotta feed you something that's a little fake, hey, if they gotta put some, if they got some clothes for cheap they can put on your body that's a little poisonous, hey, if they can give you a little bit of technology that could give you cancer because it's not the proper metals in it, don't got the proper metals in it, and the proper wiring and everything to it, hey, they trying to make a dollar. So I just say, y'all, just try to locally source more things. Be in community with people. Find out who do what. Find out who make the shoes. Find out who makes shoes in your community. Find out who produce food in their backyard that's real food from their backyard, from soil to table. Shout out Yaki, man, from soil to table. Y'all just pay attention. In these supermarkets, they not your friend. These big corporate buildings, not your friend. They don't like you. You are a number to them. You are just something to them that they can do whatever they want to. But that's all I got today, family, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm gone. Peace.